Imagine a country surrounded by neighbors grappling with political unrest, economic crises, and security challenges. Yet, this one nation often steps forward as a stabilizer, mediator, and sometimes even a peacemaker. That country is India. Whether it's dispatching warships to aid Sri Lanka during an economic meltdown, helping Nepal steer its democracy through turbulent times, or counterbalancing the regional ambitions of China, India has played the role of savior for its neighbors time and again. But why does India shoulder this responsibility? What actions has it taken in past disputes? And what does its involvement mean for the future of South Asia? Let's break it down. To begin with, why does India intervene so frequently in the region's affairs? The answer starts with geography and security. India shares land borders with almost every South Asian nation, making any instability in the neighborhood a direct security concern. Borders aren't just lines on a map. They're gateways for trade, migration, and, during times of crisis, potential threats. If a neighbor descends into chaos, India inevitably feels the tremors. Economic ties are another crucial factor. The economies of South Asian countries are interlinked, and disruptions in one often have ripple effects across the region. For instance, trade with Bangladesh and Nepal supports millions of livelihoods, and economic crises there quickly spill over into India's own markets. Beyond security and economics, there's the mantle of regional leadership. As the largest democracy and economy in South Asia, India is expected to take the lead when storms hit. It's a role shaped by history, capability, and expectation. Soft power also plays a part. Shared roots in history, culture, and religion foster a sense of kinship and responsibility. Whether it's the Tamil community in Sri Lanka, the Buddhist links with Bhutan, or the long-standing ties with Nepal, India's interventions are often seen as extensions of family concern. So, when neighbors face turmoil, be it political, economic, or security-related, India frequently acts as a first responder. One of the most vivid examples of India's savior role unfolded during the 2022-23 crisis in Sri Lanka. The country faced its worst economic collapse in decades, running out of essential supplies like fuel, medicines, and food. Streets filled with angry protesters, the president abandoned his post, and uncertainty reigned. While much of the world watched from a distance, India sprang into action, offering nearly $4 billion in aid. This support included credit lines for fuel, shipments of food and medical supplies, and even the arrival of Indian warships loaded with emergency goods. For many Sri Lankans, these lifelines were the difference between chaos and survival. India's intervention not only stabilized Sri Lanka temporarily, but also reinforced its image as a reliable neighbor willing to step in when disaster strikes. The Maldives has also been a stage for India's quick and decisive action. The most dramatic episode dates back to 1988, when mercenaries tried to overthrow the government. India launched Operation Cactus, flying paratroopers overnight to the islands and quashing the coup within hours. More recently, during political turmoil in 2018, India used diplomatic channels to support a peaceful democratic transition, countering influences that threatened the country's stability. Even today, with political factions debating whether to align more closely with India or China, India continues to provide aid and diplomatic balance, helping the Maldives navigate the tricky waters of regional politics. Nepal's journey toward democracy has often been guided by India's hand. In 2006, as pro-democracy forces challenged the monarchy, India acted as a mediator, helping political parties negotiate with the king. When Nepal stumbled over constitutional disputes and governance deadlocks, India provided both advice and support. The relationship hasn't always been smooth. Border disputes and trade disagreements have caused tensions. Yet, when crises hit, such as the devastating earthquake in 2015, Nepal has consistently turned to India for relief and assistance. The bonds of geography, culture, and mutual dependence make this partnership resilient, even when disagreements arise. Bhutan, the serene Himalayan kingdom, depends heavily on India not just for its economy, but also for its security. India's support was especially evident during the Doklam standoff in 2017, when Chinese troops entered territory claimed by Bhutan. India stood firm with Bhutan, preventing the situation from escalating. Beyond security, India supports Bhutan's development through infrastructure projects, educational initiatives, and significant investments in hydropower. For Bhutan, India serves as both a protector and a partner in its journey toward prosperity and stability. India's relationship with Bangladesh is complex and multifaceted. In 1971, India's decisive intervention helped Bangladesh win independence from Pakistan, reshaping the map of South Asia. Since then, India has mediated in water-sharing negotiations and played a role in managing refugee crises, most recently with the influx of Rohingya refugees. Political differences have occasionally strained ties, but India has consistently worked to support Bangladesh's stability and growth, recognizing that its own prosperity is closely linked to its neighbors' well-being. Looking beyond immediate neighbors, India has also acted as a savior in Afghanistan and Myanmar. In Afghanistan, India invested in schools, hospitals, and even the parliament building, striving to provide humanitarian aid despite the complexities of Taliban rule. In Myanmar, India has offered disaster relief and managed diplomatic relations carefully during periods of military upheaval, always balancing its support with the need to secure its own northeastern borders. Yet, the role of regional savior comes with significant challenges. China's expanding influence in South Asia often puts India on the defensive, forcing it to compete for goodwill, investment, and strategic partnerships. Some countries perceive India as an overbearing big brother rather than a benevolent ally, leading to periodic anti-India sentiments. Domestic political changes in countries like the Maldives or Nepal can disrupt long-standing relationships, making India's job more complicated. Striking the right balance between leadership and partnership is a constant challenge, requiring sensitivity, flexibility, and a deep understanding of local dynamics. In summary, India's role as a savior in neighboring countries' disputes is driven by more than just altruism. It's about safeguarding regional stability, securing its borders, and nurturing shared destinies. Whether airlifting soldiers to stop a coup, sending billions in aid, or mediating in political negotiations, India has consistently shown up as South Asia's first responder. As global power dynamics shift, India's actions will be crucial in shaping the region's future. Its choices will determine whether South Asia thrives together or stumbles alone. So, what's your take? Is India truly a savior to its neighbors, or is its involvement mainly about self-preservation and regional influence? Share your perspective, continue the conversation, and stay curious about the forces shaping our world. Until next time, stay informed, stay aware.